Welcome to today's lesson on personal budgets. A personal budget is a way of organizing income and expenses over a period of time in order to make financially responsible decisions. Budgets can span a variety of time periods through a monthly budget, though a monthly budget is most common. We're going to discuss each of these components of a budget below. We're going to label each of these envelopes below as income or an expense on a budget. Income is money coming in. An expense is money coming out, where we're using that money to pay for something or save. So, for example, a salary would be considered an income. Retirement savings would be an expense since that money is going out. And income tax is an expense. Utilities, water, cable, electricity is an expense. Savings for college, an expense. Let's see here. Entertainment, an expense. Wages, which is money coming in, income. Emergency savings is an expense. Food is an expense. Rent or mortgage is an expense. For those of you that don't know what a mortgage is, that's your house payment. Fixed expenses versus variable expenses. The expense that does not change from month to month. So this you pay the same amount every month. Examples are rent or mortgage, your car payment, or your car insurance. Variable expenses, those can change. You can pay either less or more a month depending on how much you need. Cost of groceries, utilities, your water bill, electric bill, or your gas bill. It all depends on how much you use or how much you save. So let's start working on some of the problems. So here it says use a monthly budget below to answer each question. Ricardo obtained his first job after graduating from college. After taxes, Ricardo will bring home $2,400. So he lists out a few of its expenses. Label each expense as fixed or variable. So remember, a fixed expense does not change, a variable one does. So for example, rent would be considered fixed. Let's put a capital F. Food could change from month to month. That's variable. Utilities, once again, a variable because that could change from month to month. A car payment is fixed. And then the gas you use for that car is a variable. Depends on how much you use it. So letter A says, how much money has Ricardo yet to budget? So we know that he gets to keep $2,400. So in order for us to find out how much he still has not budgeted, we need to add up all his expenses so far, the fixed and the variable. So let's do that right here. We know he has 800 plus 420. That's going to give us 1,220. So we've done those two. 1,220 plus 125. 4, 2 plus 1, 3. All right, so we've done that one. Now we're at 1,345 plus 340. 5 plus 0, 5. 4 plus 4, 8. 3 plus 3, 6. Bring down that 1. And the last one, we got 1,685 plus 125. 5 plus 5, 10. Carry that 1, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6, 7, 8. So those expenses are 1,810. So let's erase this. We know that's it. 1,810. I'm going to put it right here. 1,810. And we have to subtract 2,400 from that to find out how much he still has left. 0 minus 0, 0. We need to borrow here. This becomes a 3. This becomes a 9. This should have become a 1. So then 8, 13 minus 8 will be 5. So he still has to budget $590. Letter B. He decides to include his student loan payment in his budget. Is this a fixed or variable expense? His student loan payment should be a fixed payment. Should be paying the same amount every month. All right, let's continue. Oftentimes, budgets are categorized and the percentage of the total budget is calculated. So we're going to start finding either the percentages, the percentages or the amount he's gotten from calculating that percentage. So let's look at so it says calculating percents. We know that a percent has to be over 100. We wrote down part and whole. The whole would be the 100% of what he has. Part is a certain amount. Now, if we want to find the part, we will multiply the percentage times the total amount to find that part. And we'll do some examples in a bit. For number 2, Michael budgets 600 of the 2,000 he brings home for transportation expenses. If we remember this, the whole amount is 2,000. That goes in the bottom. Part of it is 600. If we remember our math, when it's a fraction, we end up dividing. So we are going to divide 2,000 into 600. Now we know that 2,000 does not fit into 600, so we add a decimal and another 0. From here, can 2,000 go into 6,000? And we can. How many times? 3 times. That's going to total 6,000, and we're done. But now we need to make this decimal a percentage. So we have to move this decimal twice to the right. So my percentage for Michael's budget of 600 is 30%. I know that was a lot of math, but pretty simple math. It's just division. Let's do number 3. Tanisha earns $3,000 per month after taxes. She saves $720. So we know the whole amount is 3,000. That goes in the bottom. Part is 720. Once again, we're going to end up dividing. So 3,000 goes on the outside. 720 in the inside. We add a decimal and another 0 because we know 3,000 does not fit into 720. But 3,000 does fit in 7,220. That's 2 times. That's going to be 6,000 right here. We're just dividing. 0, 0, 2. So now we have 1,200. Except we need to add another 0. Bring that 0 down. We're at 12,000. How many times does 3,000 go into 12,000? That would be 4 times. Exactly 4 times. So that equals exactly 12,000. And we stop. From our last problem, how many times did we have to move that decimal? 2 times. 1, 2. So our percentage is 24%. All right, let's continue. Let's do number 4. It says the Donaldson family budgets a monthly income of $3,200. Complete the table below to determine the percentage of the total family budget that the category comprises. So basically for this one, we're doing the division part for each and every one of these until we get our answer. Now, as you can see, food and entertainment are the same, so we would only have to do that once. And if you really think about it, when we add 320 and 640, that's double. So we can just multiply whatever we get for 320 twice to get our percentage for transportation. So let's figure these out. Let's do our housing and utilities first. We know the total is $3,200. That number is going to go on the outside. That's going to be our whole 3,200. Our part is 1,440. All right, so what did we say we do? We need to divide. All right, so let's divide. 3,200. Let me make my pen a little bit smaller than this. All right, 3,200 into 1,440. We know that that's not going to be possible. We had a decimal, we had a 0 point something. 3,200 would go in 4 times. So let's see, this is 4 times 0, 0, 4 times 0, 0, 4 times 2, 8, then 4 times 3, 12. We subtract 0, 0, make this a 3, 8 into 14, 6, and then 3 minus 2, 1. All right. Now, 3,200 does not go into 1,600, but we have to add another 0. Can 3,200 go into 16,000? And it can 5 times. And it's going to equal exactly 16,000. And we're done. So that answer, if you remember, we need to move this decimal twice. 1, 2, would be 45%. I'm going to erase a little bit of this just because I wanted to fit in my other problem. All right. So we're done with that one. We know it's 45%. Let's do 320. Oh, let's see, 320 over 3,200. We're going to divide, again, 3,200 into 320. That does not fit. We add a 0. Okay, how many times is 3,200 going to 3,200? 1 time. We can stop there. Let's make this 0.1%. We move it twice, 1, 2. We add a 0. So our answer is 10%. Now, if we know this is 10%, our entertainment is also going to be 10%, since that is 320 as well. Now, when we add 320 plus 320, that gives us 640. We added it twice. So what's 10% times 2? Mental math tells us that's 20%. We didn't have to do that much work if you do the mental math. One more to go, and that's 480. That one, we're going to have to do the division again. Part to whole. Our part was 480. Our whole is 3,200. So let's divide this. 3,200 into 480. Add a decimal, because we know it's not going to go in perfectly. That's going to go in 1 time. 3,200. Let's subtract 0, 0. 8 minus 2, 6. So 1,600. Add a 0, bring that down. How many times is 3,200 going to 16,000? We did that on the last problem. 5 times. That equals 16,000 exactly. What do we do with that decimal? Make it into a percent. Move that decimal twice to the right. So my answer is 15%. I know that was a lot of math, guys, but it's pretty easy because all you're doing is dividing. And remember, the part of the number goes in the top of the fraction. The whole amount goes in the bottom. And then we divide. Let's do number 5. Kelly's dad is working with her to create a budget for her part-time job. He would like her to follow the percentages below. Complete the table to determine how much money Kelly will be able to give, save, and spend if she makes $800 per month. So here's where we're finding our part. We have our percentage. We have our whole number, our whole amount, which is 800. So now we'll be multiplying. Now, before we were making these into percentages. Whenever you do not see a decimal, that means it's at the end of the number. We had been moving to the right. Now we'll be moving to the left. 1, 2. So this is 0.15. 1, 2. 0.25. 1, 2. 0.60. And you will always only move 2 times. So we know our whole amount was 800 times 0.15. All right, 5 times 0, 0, 5 times 0, 0, 5 times 8, 40. 1 times 0, 0, 1 times 0, 0, 1 times 8, 8. 0, 0, 8, 4. We have 2 decimal places that we have to correct. So 1, 2. So my answer here is 48. Let's see, 5 times 8, 0.15. Oh, no, I was incorrect. Hold on a sec. Let me correct my multiplication. 800 times 0.15. I forgot to do one thing. 0, 0, 40. I forgot to add my spacer. Now we go 1 times 0, 0, 1 times 0, 0. 1 times 8 is 8. Now we do the addition. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Move that decimal twice. So our amount is $120. $120. All right, let me erase the work. Sorry about that for the mistake. Let's do this one now. Let's pick that up a little bit. 800 times 0.25. 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 0, 0. 8 times 5, 40. Add my spacer. 2 times 0, 0. 2 times 0, 0. 8 times 2 is 16. 0, 0, 0. 6 plus 4 is 10. 1 plus 1 is 2. That decimal, 1, 2. 1, 2. So my answer here is $200. Last one, 800 times 0.60. So here, when we multiply, all I'm going to do is add a 0 here. And bring that 0 represents my first 0. So now we do 6. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 8 is 48. We move that decimal twice again. 1, 2. Our total is $480. So those are the amounts that she'll be doing for giving, saving, and spending. All right, almost done. We're on number 6. Use Joelle's budget below to determine if each statement is true or false. Correct any false statements. So it says more than 1/3 of Joelle's income is allocated towards rent. So we know our parts. They're separated on the top. Rent, utilities, cell phone, food, car payment, other spending. We don't know our whole amount. So that means we need to add all those amounts in order for us to get our whole. So let's start. Our first one is 850 plus 150. That's 0, 5 plus plus 10, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we've got $1,000 now, plus 100. That's 1,100. That's gone. Let's add plus 400 to this. That's 1,500. All right, so now we have 1,500 plus 350. 0, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. All right, plus 250. 0, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, and then plus 200. So our total amount, our whole amount is $2,300. So we know it's going to be $2,300. Let's delete all that work there. You guys could do it in a separate sheet to make it easier. It says more than 1/3 of Joelle's income is allocated towards rent. We know that rent is $850. Now, 1/3, if we don't remember, that is point 0.3333 because it repeats. So we know it's 0.33. So let's see if it's more than 0.33. 850 goes in the top. Let's see here. What number goes outside? 2,300. Let me make this bigger. All right. 2,300 divided by 850. We know it's not going to go in perfect, so it's 0. All right, and we added a 0. How many times does 2,300 go into 850? It's going to be, let's see, 3 times. 0, 0, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 2 is 6. All right, 0, 0, 9 plus 5. Oh, 9 minus 5 is actually, I'm just gotta borrow here. 15 minus 9, that's 6. 1,600. Let's add a 0, bring that down. How many times does 16,000 go into 2,300? That's gonna be, let's see, 5, I believe 5 times. Actually 4 times. 0, 0, 4 times 3, 12. Carry that 1, 4 times 2, 8. Oh, 4 times 2, let's see, 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 2, 8, 9. Nope, it's not going to be 4. It's going to be actually more than that. But knowing that it's going to be more than 4, let me find out what it is. All right, I got to do my math as well. 5, 5, 6 times 2, 6, 18. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. It will be 6. Oops, sorry about that. It's going to be 6. So 0, 0, 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 2, 12, 13. When we subtract that, 0, 0, borrow. This is a 5. 2, 2,200. It's 0.36. This is saying it's more than 1/3. Is that true? That is true because we know our answer is 0.36. So this answer is true. Sorry about that. All right, Joelle is saving less than 10% of her monthly income. So savings is 200. That's our part. 200 over 2,300. Okay, so let's set it up. Oops, sorry about that. 2,300, 200. We know it's not going to go in there, so it's 0. Can 2,300 go into 2,000? Nope, that's another 0. This is going to be 8. Now, 8% is less than 10%. So does that make our answer true or false? The answer is true. All right, last one. Joelle's car payment and other spending account for less than 25% of her monthly budget. So we need if it's less than 25%. All right, so Joelle's car payment is $350. The spending account is $250. When we add those up, that's $600. So our part is 600 over 2,300. Let's find out if it's less than 25%. 2,300. 2,300 into 600. Add a decimal. how many times is 2,300 go into 6,000? It'll be 2. Let me just fix that. I don't like the 2,300 into 600. We added that decimal. 2 times 0.064. 4,600. 0.0. Borrow 1,400. Bring out 0. That's going to be 6 times 0.018. 13. Now it's 0.26. If we make it into a percentage, we already know this is 26%. So it's more than. So would this answer be true or false? It would be false. All right, guys. So these are the type of questions you're going to be doing on your assignment. Take your time. It's a lot of division, but it's pretty simple when you put it all together. All right. Have a good time, and I'll see you.